Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be breaking down exactly how much I make and spend as a 22-year-old new grad software engineer working at Amazon living in Seattle. I'll first walk you guys through my total annual compensation, how much I actually take home, and then dive into my monthly expenses. Let's get started. First, let's talk about my total compensation. My starting base salary as a new grad software engineer at Amazon is $129,000 per year. From what I know, this is pretty standard for my role across the company, but it can vary depending on where you live. For example, if you're in New York or the Bay Area, you'll get slightly more because of the higher cost of living. On top of my salary, I also received a first-year sign-on bonus of $50,100, which was paid as a lump sum with my first paycheck. There's also a second-year sign-on bonus of $33,100, but that's distributed evenly across my monthly paychecks during that year. Then there are RSUs, or restricted stock units. I was awarded $111,531 in Amazon stock, which vests over 4 years, and here's how it works. For the first year, I only get 5%, which is roughly $5,500. The second year, I get 15%, and then 20% every 6 months after that until it's fully vested. Amazon also gave me a $7,000 relocation stipend to help me move to Seattle from SoCal, but we won't include that in the total comp. So if we add it all up, my total annual compensation comes out to roughly $185,000 or about $15,500 a month before taxes. Now my monthly paycheck only shows my base salary, $10,750 before taxes without the sign-on bonus or RSUs. So how much of that do I actually take home? Where did your socks go?
They're completely wet.
A grand total of $0. Yes, for the months that I've worked here so far, I haven't made a single penny on my monthly take-home pay. Why is my take-home pay $0? Am I working for free? Not exactly. When I started at Amazon in September last year, I wanted to max out my 401k and HSA before the end of 2024. To do that, I set my 401k contribution to 85% of my paycheck. Here's a screenshot of my most recent paycheck for the month of January. And as you guys can see, a majority of it is going to my 401k. The rest of the 15% is distributed between my after-tax 401k, HSA, medical insurance, and other benefits. By the end of last year, I was barely able to max out both my 401k and HSA. And now in 2024, I'm front-loading my investments again, so I'm still taking home $0 each month. This will continue until my 401k maxes out, which should be around the end of March. Now, why exactly do I do this? Well, it's because my company matches 401k contributions up to 2% of my base salary, which is an additional $2,580 a year in free money. This also lowers my overall taxable income, so I pay less in taxes. Now you might be wondering, how do I pay for rent, food, and other expenses? And that's a great question because honestly, I'm not entirely sure myself. But I've been living off my $50,000 sign-on bonus, and I've also had some savings that I had before starting at Amazon. Shout out to Dogecoin. Just kidding. If you're interested in a deeper dive into my investments and how I'm allocating my money, let me know in the comments below. I can make a whole separate video on that. Since I haven't had an actual paycheck yet, I did the math to figure out what my monthly take-home pay would look like once my 401k is maxed out. Starting with my base salary of $10,750 per month, 23.5% of that, or $2,530, goes straight to taxes. $320 goes to my HSA, $100 goes to my insurance and other benefits, $325 goes to my after-tax 401k, and that leaves me with an expected take-home pay of $7,475 per month. Bruh, it's snowing and this guy's in a t-shirt. Where's your jacket, bruh? It's fucking snowing and you're in a t-shirt. Now let's talk about my monthly expenses. Here's the breakdown. For rent, I live in Seattle, which is known to be pretty expensive, especially since I live near the office. I pay $1,925 a month for my 450 square foot studio. For utilities and internet, that comes around $220. For groceries, I'll be honest, I don't really cook much, so I only spend about $150 a month on groceries, but I'm trying to cook more often. Eating out, this I do a lot. On average, I would say I buy at least one meal a day, which adds up to about $700 a month. Seattle food is both expensive and honestly kind of mid. But as I mentioned before, I'm learning how to cook still, and it's just convenient. For transportation, this is generally $0 because I use public transit and Lime scooters to get around everywhere, which both are covered by Amazon's commuter benefits. Miscellaneous is another $500 that I'd spend for shopping and other random expenses like going out and hanging out with friends. Subscriptions, I pay $6 for Spotify, $5 for Robinhood Gold, and $6 for Amazon Prime. No, we don't get free Prime just because we work at Amazon, though I think we should. I have a car back in SoCal that I didn't bring to Seattle, but I'm still paying $435 a month for it, even though I'm not technically driving it. So altogether, my monthly expenses come out to $3,947, and this number can vary based on the month, but on average, this is how much I should be expecting to pay.
Snowman melted.
Yeah, the snowman melted hella.
Now, I know spending almost $4,000 a month with a $0 take-home pay might seem concerning, and honestly, I agree. I need to budget more responsibly. But once my 401k is maxed out and I start taking home that $7,475 a month, if we subtract that with my other monthly expenses, I'll have roughly $3,528 left over that I'll generally just put into my high-yield savings account or other investments. Again, if you guys want to know where exactly I'm investing my money, make sure to like this video and leave a comment down below, and also join our Discord community server. There you guys can ask me any sorts of questions you guys have, and it's the fastest way to reach me. I do want to say that I'm very grateful and lucky to have this job to begin with, as I know just how tough the job market is right now, especially in tech. I honestly don't know how I ended up here or even if I deserve it, but hey, I'll take it. I know many of you guys have been asking me how I got a software engineering job at a big FAANG company, and don't worry, I will definitely make a video on that in the future as well. Just stay subscribed. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.